Hello YouTube, welcome back to a brand new video. This is the America First Pill channel. The Supreme Court the last couple days made some really big rulings. And I'm very upset right now, very upset. You know, I think Reagan came up with the quote that was like, was it Reagan? Quote me who it was, but about how it's better to support, it's better to agree with 80% of which you agree rather than the 80%, the 20% you disagree. To some extent, I kind of agree with the philosophy you get more of what you like than less. But what if the issues that we agree with don't really have as much effect in the immediate, but the ones that really matter to America and really improving this country again, bringing back our national identity, securing our elections, being sovereign. What if, of all the issues that the uniparty keep, it's clear the uniparty likes to keep us divided, so we are one. That way we can keep being distracted, because the more we're fighting each other and focusing on petty stuff, the more they can do things without us noticing and get us so ticked off that we keep voting for our own destruction. But think about it. The uniparty likes to pretend they're divided, but on the issues that matter most to America, they continue to give us the finger. And the big one was the election. I guess there was a Supreme Court case coming up, and it has gone for, I think, at least a year or so, and it was about election integrity. I think one of the issues that matter, I feel like if you don't have fair elections, it really doesn't matter who you run, because if one can just rig their elections or just do their shady stuff, then what does it matter? It almost makes other issues void without election integrity. But the Supreme Court, which this was one I thought they would have sided with us on. There were some good signs, but nope. This one I was real unexpected. The court ruled about mail-in ballots that states are allowed to count ballots long after Election Day. So meaning if elections long past, states can count them after the polls close. In California, what California was doing, they were continuing to count ballots long after the election, even if they came late. They kept counting them. In other states, now I live here in Wisconsin. I don't know how much that will affect Wisconsin, because it's already technically law here that ballots have to be in order to be counted. Ballots have to be in before the polls close, but that doesn't mean that there isn't shenanigans, because there's shenanigans. They do it anyways. This largely because Republicans are too spineless to do anything about it. So yeah, they keep it up. But yes, you can count ballots long after election. What kind of ruling is that? It just, I'm sorry, but why? It's election day for a reason. I don't know. I just ticks me off and makes me really upset. because Dems can't, and the Uniparty. I have to realize now. I think it's not just a Dem. I think it's a Republican Party too. I do think both parties benefit from rigged elections. Sorry, I do. I think the Dems do it more, especially in the general, but I do think Republicans are stealing primaries. I just do. I think it goes way more than just the whole mail-in system. There's a lot of other ways too, but mail-in is the biggest one that we have to tackle, or else, no one's going to have faith in our elections. In fact, no one already does. So that's a ridiculous ruling. And what the court really is telling you is you don't have a right to have election integrity. They're going to make excuses how only the states can do it or whatever. But clearly the courts don't want to be involved in these issues. And this one I knew unfortunately wasn't going to go our way, but I'm still upset anyways. And that is birthright citizenship. The court just ruled that America doesn't have a right to a sovereignty. You can just come here, if you're on birth tourism, and if you just happen to give birth here, and you can literally just, your babies are now a citizen, based off, the court ruled that they're a citizen, and the parents can get government welfare. Like, what else am I supposed to think? Are we not allowed to have a sovereignty? And, hate to say it, and I know some of the ladies on here who might follow me are going to be really upset, but Amy Coney Barrett was a big disappointment. I'm sorry. The difference with Roberts is, yes, Roberts is a dud as well, but he's already been voting he's been a liberal for a while. And our hope was that this judge, Amy, was going to be the swing vote to kind of break the tie, and except she decides to side with the left every time in the name of more principles. I'm really disappointed. And that was one of Trump's worst picks that he's ever done. Because he listens too much to these advisors. He listens too much to all these swamp creatures that know how to play to his ego. He picks them, and then, then they end up giving them the finger after he supported them. Amy Coney Barrett was literally a McConnell-backed judge. Told, oh, she's great, and then, yeah. She's basically a center-left judge at this point. She's not, that's why I'm upset. Not because she's a woman. It's because she's not ruling on the merits. She's ruling on feelings, and it's obvious. And, I don't think these judges, with the exception of Thomas and stuff, I really don't think a lot of these judges care at all about the Constitution. It's just a piece of paper, unfortunately, to them. It's just, they care about feelings, and they care about what the blowback will be if they make a tough decision. And I think Roe v. Wade might have been the thing that really did it for Amy. That was considered a huge controversy to the nation. And, I remember they tried to go harm Kavanaugh. He had threats at his house, or they went by where he lives. And now, at best, Amy's afraid. But you have to look at who benefits from this. Clearly, the elites benefit from mass migration. She also has, I think she has 8 Haitian adopted children. And I do think she has ties to the Catholic NGO charities. which is barely Catholic. It's whatever it is. They benefit off mass migration. They need people to stay open. It's all about them. It's all about benefiting and enriching themselves on our expense. And I think they don't want a backlash of having to change a understood thing for years, and they don't want the backlash from the left. And same with election integrity. The Dems will go crazy. But again, the uniparty always comes together when it's something good, when it's something that can benefit the American people. They always give us the finger. I think they ruled something about the trans stuff that was it I forgot what it's called, was the transgender. They ruled on us against the transing kids or something, and I have to think Tucker Carlson's correct. I think he said so on one of his interviews, or whoever interviewed him, that maybe the transgender issue is really a design tactic. Obviously, it needs to be tackled. People who are sincere about actually tackling. I don't think GOP is actually really that sincere on it as much as you make it. But clearly, the trans stuff is ridiculous, and that should not be allowed. What they're doing to children and stuff, but they're clearly using that to keep us distracted, fighting over gender instead of things that matter to us, things that and not noticing their corruption. But you notice how they were quick to rule on these little partisan things, but they won't on things like immigration, election integrity. Why is that? Because they benefit off rigged elections. They cannot give power back to the people, or they get removed. Well, Dems would freaking go crazy if birthright system was overturned, because that means they lose their base and also their donors, Republican donors that are going to freak out because they lose cheap labor. It's all about money, and it's blackmail. They're being blackmailed, and the individuals, they benefit off of it. They have interests. That's why they're voting for it. It has nothing to do because I'm a constitutionalist. They don't care about the Constitution. And it seems to me we're not allowed to have anything good. Look at the tariffs. They were working too, and nope. So if it involves trying to protect our job from being shipped overseas, protect our elections, basic common sense, immigration, that we can have a sovereignty, that we are a sovereign nation. We can't have that, according to the Supreme Court. We cannot have those things. And you have to be forced to accept it. I think hopefully Trump can find a loophole, and this is the thing. I know people think Trump has failed. He's not doing enough, and I have to disagree. I think he's doing what he can on this issue. Clearly he's fighting for it. He's been fighting it since he's fighting it forever. So he clearly is fighting it. But man, when it's something good that could help him get his approval rating back up, man, they really give him the finger. These people hate Trump too. And I think Amy hates Trump. If you look at one of the more recent State of the Union address, I think it was the one last year, you can kind of see her make a snarl to Trump, like I hate you look. I mean, she hates Trump, and I think it's personal. That's what it is. Of course, Roberts, he's a Bush he's a Bush pick. So I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do from here. I really don't. The more I see this happen, the more I realize, this system can't be broken. Be repaired. Really, we can't have a sovereignty. That's what they basically ruled, people. And how destructive that ruling is. That means even more people are going to now abuse the system even further. That's what they incentivize, all because an emotional court. That's it. One person made the difference. I don't know. But really, you got to blame Congress at the end of the day. It really never should have gone to the Supreme Court. That's the thing. It didn't have to gone this way, but here we are. What, are they going to vote against voter ID too? Dems will sue that, saying, "Oh, it's the state rights." Probably, because my principles of my Constitution, the states only have a right. Really? The show ID? Really? At this point, you can't expect anything good from the Supreme Court. Not when it's important, especially. I mean, I'm really mad right now. Anyway, I don't know what to say, but the only way we can fix this is we get Congress to work and change these laws then. That's the only way we have now. Or we're screwed. We don't have a sovereignty. We have no national identity. We have no, our elections are worse than like a third world country. Not even Somalia is this bad at securing elections, for goodness sake. Anyway, if you like this video, please let me know what you all think. And if you like this channel, please subscribe, hit bell for notifications. The America First Pill channel, out.